Hey, how's it going, everyone on YouTube? Luke Troy here. It's just a video for me, nothing really substantial in it. I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately, so I decided to throw in a few that I wouldn't have to edit or mess with or anything. So here it is. I have a sister that is ambiguously religious. I was speaking to her about it the other day. She loves the idea of God and heaven and good, but she doesn't really believe in hell. She doesn't seem to have much of a thought of reincarnation. She doesn't believe in any sort of specific religion or any sort of text. She just basically likes the idea of heaven and therefore gravitates towards that, and all the bad stuff she just doesn't like to think about. She's terrified of the idea of losing our grandparents, our parents, and eventually ourselves, our children, our grandchildren. I don't know how far she takes it, but just the idea of loss and the idea of that eternal nothingness is very terrifying to her. And for me, it's just so the opposite. She's going through a bit of a hard time now. She's quitting drugs, and she's been using marijuana heavily for the past 10 years. I know most people think weed's not that heavy, but when you're smoking fucking hydroponics regularly for 10 years, and quitting is a fairly big deal. But, yeah, so she's been going through a bit of trouble, and I was trying to help her with a bit of my own perspective on life and death, and how it helps to be an atheist, and how it helps you deal with these questions. And it terrified her, and I didn't know if it was because she didn't understand me, or because she just doesn't know the things that I know and hasn't learned about the grand majesty of the universe and of the natural world, and just how amazing and miraculous it is on its own. I would like to know what that is, that major distinction, because for me, the idea of hell and heaven and that eternal life without any sort of difficulty and without any choice. I mean, the idea is it's either heaven or hell, and then once you're there, that's done, that's final destination. That seems like the most terrifying idea, either selection. I much prefer the idea that we live a life in which we achieve as much as we can achieve, and in the fact that that life does end is what gives meaning to the life. And fortunately, for that perspective, I have the real world to consider, and I have the real evidence, well, this is the world as it is. And there may be an afterlife, and I'll cross that bridge as I get to it, but since I've never seen it, and I've never had any experience that would suggest otherwise, apart from other people telling me, and since those people have never had any experience that would suggest anything otherwise, because, all the experiences of God and ghosts and aliens and things are all very similar, and they've all been traced in the brain in specific places that register as these experiences. So, no one has ever actually experienced anything supernatural, and yet they are addicted to this idea, and they are addicted to this sense of eternity. And they say without it that they wouldn't be able to tolerate life. But I know I'm kind of just repeating myself a little bit here, and because this video is not going to be edited, it might be a little bit boring, but fuck you can deal with it. I would just like to know what it is that goes through those people's minds, that they aren't able to appreciate the majesty of the world as it is, and that they don't understand the same sense of eternity as I do. I wish people could appreciate the world for its finality, and the nature of our own lives for the meaning that we provide to the nature of the universe, and the nature of the world and society, and just every significance that we hold, great and small, just in our own experiences. Yeah, I'm not really sure what much else to say about it, I guess. I was speaking to a guy just the other day, and we were talking about stigmata, and he was talking about it like it was documented and it was absolutely true and there was just no question about it. It was real. And I laughed, and I told him that I have no belief in anything supernatural whatsoever. And he said that he pitied me. And it just really struck me, the same thing again coming across, that people feel as though it's a loss to be relieved of supernatural ideas. But it's not. You gain so much. It's such a help. It's such a bonus. I mean, my idea of life has expanded so much since I made the leap from agnosticism to atheism, from just sort of having vague ideas about, there doesn't really seem to be much spiritual, so I live my life, I don't think I have the answers and I don't think I have the evidence, so I just say I don't know, to actually looking into it and looking into the natural world and becoming specifically a naturalist and just looking in awe at the real incredible majesty of the natural world. And to me, I feel sorry for those that feel the need to fill these gaps with supernatural explanations, because the natural world is so much more mysterious and so much more majestic and so much more incredible that it just feels so tragic to me. But at the same time, I can't let myself be condescending, because I know they have that same feeling towards me, thinking that I'm the one that's missing out on their supernatural world. So I would just really like to know what that difference is, and what it takes to make someone ignore the real physical world in exchange for stories of magic and astrology and supernaturalism. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. This is Luke and Troy. Fuck you everybody, good night.